Namaste, beloved beings. How are you all out there today? My name is Angel, and I'd like to welcome you all to Awakening's Moments of Inspiration. Whew! It's powerful, powerful energies out there today, out there this week. Whew. And for those of you who are maybe new or this is your first time seeing the show, how I usually like to open the show is with an Ave Saw, three deep Ave Saw breaths. And for those of you who do not know what an Ave Saw breath practice is, what it does is it allows you to center and ground yourself, help provide you some clarity, but also it helps to open your heart and your mind, sync them together, I find. And it calms your body as well. So to do an Ave Saw breath, it's very, very simple. You put at least one hand on your heart, and what that does is it allows your body to relax, to go into the flow, and to know that you have got it, to relax your body. And then on the inhale, in through the nose and out through the mouth. On the inhale, we think Ave, just like Ave Maria. And what that means is hail. Hail to the divine, hail to the gods, hail to the divine spark inside of you. And then the release is a complete surrender to the moment. And an Ave Saw breath also is accompanied with, as you inhale with your nose, see a golden light coming in, going up and down through your body and up and out your mouth. And then afterwards, please remember to smile. So here we go. 3 deep Ave Saw breaths. Ave. Sa. One more. Ave. Sa. And one more. Ave. Sa. And what I'd also like to do at this moment is to send our divine feminine incarnate, Gaia, a beautiful Ave Saw breath, and just much love and honor as you can in this moment. So, Ave. Sa. I hope you all feel as wonderful and as collected as I do. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have had so many plans for this show, and the ideas for this show have changed a couple of times over the last week, just because of the powers of the energies that are flowing right now. And I thought perhaps that the subject of the divine feminine and honoring her and finding inspiration in her is a beautiful topic to begin with. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman, everyone has divine masculine and divine feminine within them. And I think at this moment, divine feminine is a thing that really needs to be championed. And so I have decided to focus the show mainly on bringing inspiration through the divine feminine, finding inspiration with a man or a woman in that energy, that which is the divine feminine. So it has been a powerful, powerful week. I will admit that. I have had a couple of accidents myself, and but I'm now back in my and I am pleased to be here. I'm honored. I just realized that my sanctuary is actually a pyramid. It's a small camper trailer here in Ontario, but it is a pyramid. And I just love the synchronicity of that. I love the fact that it can help raise my vibration and help my energy. Not only allows me a place of solitude and sanctuary, but it helps to raise your vibration. So if you have any pyramids kicking around your house, um, put them out, display them, even if they're just statues. Embrace them. They are a way of raising your vibrations. So, um, to start off, I thought I would do the Ascended Numerology for the day. And the Ascended Numerology for the day is one that I ended up falling in love with. If for those of you who do not know what Ascended Numerology is, it was brought to us by Master Lady Kira Ra, and I would highly recommend that you go to shriandkira.com if you want to learn more about Ascended Numerology. But in simple, quick terms, it is the ability for you to connect with your soul and understand your soul's purpose in this lifetime. It's not a divination tool necessarily, it's more of a reconnection tool with you and your soul and the soul's purpose in this lifetime. And it's based on your birth date, your name at birth, and your place at birth. And again, if you want to know more, please go over to shriandkira.com. So I did, am a student of Master Lady Kira Ra in Ascended Numerology. And so I decided to find out what today was, what today in Ascended Numerology, and it equaled a 9. And what a 9 is Trinity. It is the 3 plus the 3, or the 3 times the 3 is 9. It is the Trinity. And what that means for me is, and I thought this was so fitting, especially when we're going to talk about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and the importance of the divine feminine and what's going on. And I just thought it was fitting that it's a 9, meaning that you have to have the divine feminine and the divine masculine in order to make the divine spark in the middle. It's beautiful, powerful, crystalline energy that you can use to push through the barriers that you have around yourself. And I just love that. And it's full of both balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I thought that was just truly, truly powerful. And then I thought, okay, what else can we do? What else can we do to get people interested in the energies of today and in divine feminine, and what can we do help to balance that? And so I do not have the cards of clarity. I have not yet been called to them, but I do feel the call very quickly. But I have practiced tarot and for a good number of years, and so I decided to pull out my tarot deck. Now, this tarot deck has been with me since for 30 years, and I've tried to get many other tarot decks, and unfortunately, they never called to me. This is my one true tarot, and for me, tarot is not necessarily, again, a divination tool. Yes, it can be wonderful for that, but for me, it was a tool for guidance. Again, guidance and connection to my soul's purpose. And so that's how I've always kind of used tarot. And I love the synchronicities in that. So what I thought I would do was I don't know why. I don't publicly read tarot. So I was called to pull my tarot cards. And I found it quite interesting and I asked, what is the message that you want to convey to the audience today? And the card that it gave me, believe it or not, is the 10 of Swords. Now, I have a traditional deck, which is swords, cups, staffs, and discs. But I literally got the 10 of Swords. And I thought, swords, could there be more masculine energy in that? And then I read the description. I felt into the card. I felt into the energies. And this is what I've learned here. I'll just quickly read the interpretation here. The 10 of Swords, complete and total loss coming without warning. It alludes to the transient of all things worldly. This is, however, a final disaster after which there is a marked upturn in one's fortune. And then, of course, it gives a little cheeky, as things cannot get any worse. But how I saw this energy, which when you first look at the 10 of Swords, when you first feel the 10 of Swords, you instantly, you don't have a good feeling about it. But for me, I looked at it and asked what it was trying to say. And basically, the energies of the sword is very masculine. And that energies has pushed over and has gone before the divine feminine. But we've gone as far as we can, or as far as we're going to. And now it's time to balance that out. And that's how I felt that was being displayed. And so I was very thankful. But at first I didn't want to give you this card. I will give you a little story about synchronicity and inspire you even more. I was like, 10 of Swords, really? You want me to share this with my audience? Really? And I was, no. So I put, again, synchronicities, I put it back in my deck and I reshuffled and I pulled single card again, and out of 72 cards, for the second time, the 10 of Swords. So I think they really want you to hear that the divine, the masculine energy that is out there and is becoming suppressive is at its peak, I guess. It's where we're going to go. And there's only one way up from here. And I think that way up is definitely embracing the divine feminine and balancing that energy, finally together with the masculine, to create that spark of creation and ignition in life that everybody wants. So apologize, everyone. I think we're back online. Okay. So I asked my tarot again, what message of the future from this point forward, what message would you like to convey? And I shuffled again, and I got, believe it or not, the Magician. And I could read the Magician's whole description for you, but I don't really think it's, well, I'll read some of it, I guess. Productive thought, creative ideas, and mind put to constructive use. Productive thought, creative ideas, and mind put to constructive use. I don't know about you, but that to me sounds like the balancing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine into one being. Create that spark of magic and life. And I thought it was the most fitting and profound message I could give to you. Out of all the beings in this deck, this is the being, me, that speaks of balance of both the divine masculine or divine feminine and the divine masculine within. So the fact that they want me to give you this message, that is the way to go. It is the balancing. So I've thrown a lot of words around at you now. But for me and for many people out there, divine feminine has been not here, not part of us. I should just rewind just shortly back. I do apologize. We don't have BN this week. We had a small glitch in our guests, so we only have me today. But I do hope that you will all still enjoy the show. And then next week, will hopefully my guest, as far as I know, will be Jess Gentinen, and that will be fabulous. And then perhaps the week after that, Jim Onek. So just stay tuned for more. I'll talk about that again at the end. So the divine feminine. So what is the divine? Is feminine, soft, cushy, mushy things. That's we tend to think of femininity now. We like soft, frilly, coochie things. And that is actually, well, in a way, it could be part of the energy. But when I mean divine feminine, I mean energy of creation, the energy of being and of receiving, where the masculine energy is the energy of doing and producing and being active. If the divine feminine is the force of love and creation, and the divine masculine is the action within that divine creation. That to me is what the balance between a divine masculine and divine feminine. Divine femininity, it's or the divine feminine energy rather, sorry. It's about being emotional, opening yourself up to your feelings, and it's very relationship oriented, where a masculine energy is very linear and very logical and very thoughtful. Feminine energy, it's nurturing, love, it's your intuition, that little, I always say mother's intuition. And we all have mother's intuition. Even men have mother's intuition. It's just intuition, but that intuition actually comes from the female energy. So in a way, it is mother's intuition, but we all literally do have mother's intuition. So it's the intuition, that gut feeling that says, I'm going to go left instead of right today, or I'm going to go out there and shake 5 people's hands that I've never shook before in my life, and I'm going to introduce myself. That is very masculine energy, but it's the intuition that got them out to shake those hands. That energy, that intuition click, as I like to say, is the driving force for that masculine energy to then go and do the action. So I'm not sure if I've clarified for you what divine feminine means, but it's the women imbibe a sense of love, relationship, creativity. We're very the feminine energy is very into feeling and cooperating, into listening, where the masculine energy is more driving force. Go out there, hunt, talk, intellect. They're very into facing the obstruction or facing that thing head on. A feminine energy is more likely to be a creative and think of a more creative, roundabout approach to a problem at hand. So that is divine masculine or divine feminine and divine masculine. But I think what has happened we've lost that. We've got somewhere in us the goddess, the love of femininity, the love of all things feminine energy. Women can be strong as hell, and don't have to be aggressive. And I think a lot of people now, or in today's society, I should say, we want to be out there, we want to be shaken, and we want to be we want to put ourselves out there. We want to do the best we can. We want to, but that is a masculine energy. But the problem is if we don't have the feminine energy behind that, the creativity, the thing that drives you, the thing that puts gas in the car, the thing that puts fire in the belly, that is what comes from the feminine. And I think we've maybe pushed that aside just maybe a little bit too long. Where we got lost, I could give you a history lesson, but I don't really think you want one. And I really don't want to give you one either. But we have slowly, over a few thousand years, have progressively pushed down the feminine and the female goddess archetype as being a strong and capable energy that is able to move mountains, I guess. Women and the female energy have been suppressed for thousands of years. I think we can all settle that out. But it's because we've seen that as a lesser energy, a lesser thing. And it's not. Isn't it? 3 and a 3 is 9. The Trinity, you need a man and a woman to create a spark. And that spark is life. And I've always kind of thought that interesting, that several patriarchal places and ideas in the world never had the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is, again, the energy that's of creativity. And we've pushed that aside and we've made that less than. And I think it's very important that we bring that back together. And how can we do that? How can we bring the divine feminine into our lives? How can we, if we're a woman, how can we bring these energies back and into our lives a little bit more? I think for me, and again, I don't have a guest and I do apologize, but for me, going out into the world and seeing that it's both a masculine energy and a feminine energy to get creation, I always wondered why we downplayed the feminine. And so I had a lifelong quest to seek out not only my love of the Christ energy, my love for the Christ energy, but also for the divine feminine. We had lost it. And I went on a quest to find it. And that I did at a very, very young age. That I was 12 years old and I decided to go out, and because I couldn't understand, I would ask my Sunday school teachers and I would say, why, where are the women? Where are the divine women in all of this? And I would never really get a straight answer. And so I went on a quest, a lifelong quest, to find the Christ energy and to find the divine goddess. And it took me on a quest to over hill and dale to embrace the goddess wholeheartedly. Have you ever wanted to dance in the rain with your hair down and just spinning around until you fall into the water and you just laugh there giggling. That is the divine feminine energy that we want to imbue, to imbibe. And I wanted to find that goddess, but also I wanted to find, I knew that the divine goddess was more than just that. The divine goddess is the strength, the energy of creation, what it takes to create life within your own body and within the body of the feminine. And that energy is the most powerful energy in the world. It's love. The divine feminine is love, and the divine masculine is the action of love. That's how I see it. It's just amazing. And so the search for the divine goddess led me to many places in my schooling, in my arts, and it was through pagan religions, actually, and through nature religions that I found the goddess again. And it was a beautiful, beautiful initiation to see and feel that female energy, that it's not lost. And I think that more and more people in this world are beginning to feel that energy themselves. It doesn't matter, again, if you're a man or a woman. The pandemic has given us, well, not just the pandemic, I think the last few years have really given us an eye-opener of how far our masculine energy has taken us. That we have risen to the height of human existence. We have all this beautiful technology that can run almost everything, but we're empty inside, and we look around and we wonder what is missing. And what is missing is the heart and soul and the goddess in it all. And so when when a man or a woman, doesn't matter either, invoke feminine energy, they're able to I think probably the most easiest, most common phrase that is used nowadays is think outside the box. That feminine energy gets you to think outside the box. It gets you to jump up and say, yes, this is Eureka! I've got it. And I think a lot of people have had a lot of Eureka, I've got it moments in the last couple of years. And it's because we have felt the expansion and the inclusion more and more of the divine feminine energy into the collective consciousness. This is what I think. But so it is, as is expanding more and more into the feminine consciousness, the softness of the female energy is coming upness of the masculine energy, or what we perceive as the softness. And again, these are just percent, but it doesn't have to be that way. Masculine energy, divine feminine energy together create a spark. And so how do we embrace the divine feminine? How do we open ourselves up to the divine feminine? Again, going out in nature is an amazing, amazing way of doing that. Go out and look at the sunshine and look at the clouds and see if you can find cloud shapes in them. Do you remember being a child to be open and free and full of creativity, that one activity would flow, just automatically flow into the other. That there was never a plan, or if it was always thrown out the window in an instant. And that you just move throughout your day, one thing to the next. And that is how it's supposed to be. That is the work of the divine feminine and the divine masculine within the child being together, moving it throughout its day. It just hasn't put up the barriers of, oh, I need a strong boy because I need to not cry, and girls are frilly, and we just need to be protected, and so on and so forth. All the things that our society and our stuff propels on us, or puts on us, sorry. So if we can just all embrace the child within us and lie on our backs in a field once in a while, stare at the sky, sniff some dandelions, listen to the birds sing. That's what I'm doing right now. Creativity is what pulls at the hearts of men, or women. And if we don't nurture that creativity, we're going to fall away and become that which we are right at this moment in time. Look at what's happened. We've taken and made extracurricular activities, at least here in Canada, are not as prevalent in school. Things like art and aesthetics classes and so on are put aside more for academics. Fewer kids are going out for things like dance and art. They're not encouraged so much anymore. Now, the pandemic has kind of thrown a wrench into that. I do understand, but we're taking the heart out of things like school that the kids used to like. There aren't any extracurricular activities, there are very few anymore. That the art classes are, again, much smaller. We value creativity for all the wrong reasons, I guess, would be a way of putting it. The people that we think of as creative, we usually think of our actors and actresses, and they are very creative, and they are very, how do you put it? They're people who just love creativity, and they do imbibe the female in all of us, like the feminine energy, definitely. But there's more to creativity than just fame and fortune, and this is the feminine energy that I want to talk about. It's the feminine energy that will create an origami swan for a little old lady just to cheer up. For the person who gets at 3 o'clock in the morning because that eureka moment hit them and they have to type it out on the keyboard. They're the artist who slaves away in his basement studio for years on end, and just to get his heart out on canvas. That is the type of feminine energy that I would like us to try and I want to encapsulate in myself. That is the type of feminine energy that is truly a force to be reckoned with. an energy that can go out there and think outside the box, that can be one with itself, strong with itself, and who can be strong as steel and as soft as silk when the situation calls for. That is the energy that I think we should call forth now to help us with our, going back to our swords, our 10 of swords, is that energy of creativity for the sake of creativity, or love for the sake of love, kindness for the sake of kindness. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Movement, receiving, open-heartedness. That's the feminine energy. Just hit me that some might think, well, isn't this all wishful thinking, Angela? Isn't this all something that you can't make happen? I'm not asking you to go out and make it happen for other people. I'm asking you to make it happen for yourself. You can't control other people, just as other people can't control you. Good morning, Franklin. And no, we all have our own individual rights to life. All those things that we talk about in politics and in society. But I think it's more than that. It's, you have the right to be whole within yourself. We have an overbalance. An overbalance? Is that the word? We have an overbalance of masculine energy. We all do. The whole society is dipped in it right now. But you have the right to have the equal in yourself. And that's where I'm going with all of this. Open yourself up. Open yourself up to the creative feminine energy out there. Men, draw yourself a bubble bath. Put some candles on, some good music. If you don't want to do that, take a gorgeous long walk with the pup out in the woods. Listen to the songs of the birds and the rustling of the leaves. If you're lucky, you might get to see a deer or spot a hawk overhead. The feminine energy doesn't have to be gushy and mushy. It can be strong, strong, strong. Just as strong as Shakti, Kali, Demeter. These are women who, I don't know, the goddesses. Thank you, Franklin. These are goddesses that I have come across in my studies, my lifetime, but they're also goddesses that had the privilege of within ritual. And these energies are profound and as strong as any male energy. We just need to get that balance within ourselves. And then once we do that, the divine spark, remember the Trinity, masculine, feminine, the divine spark for creation. You'll just find your life. You'll put one in front of the other. We did when we were kids. We'd open the door and we'd go out. And whatever there was that day, we'd bounce from one thing to the next thing to the next thing as life led us through. Looking at all of the fun things that happened, crying at all of the bad things that happened. But we still went. That is the flow that is for you when you can balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine within yourself. That creativity spark the young child again. You can also find the feminine in so many other places and in so many other things. I like to think of, and I do think of water. Water is very near and dear to, I think, everyone's hearts. Can't have life without water. Water is very important. Um, and I like to think of water and what the fluidity of water, the way it's able to move in and out and become anything, solid, liquid, gas. Water is life on earth. It is the feminine energy on earth. Water is, again, without it, you wouldn't have life at all. So you have baths. Again, man, if you don't want to have a bubble bath, okay, I understand. But allow yourself a bath if you can, or go into the hot tub. But if you're going to do a bath, put in some Epsom salts and put on some music. Make yourself enjoy it, relax, and just think, not even think, feel into the activity of what you want to do in your life, where you want to go next in your life. Let the imagination, that feminine imagination, just take you where it wants to go. Excuse me. If you feel, you can even, if that intellect of yours just wants to learn and envelop, go out there and learn about several goddesses. It comes from the morning bubble of my imagination. Oh, I love that, Franklin. That's amazing. But go out there and just create. And I actually saw, just before I came on, it was a lovely display. And if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend it. I watched this year's Nations Powwow of 2022, just literally before I came on. And I was watching the dancing of these young people. I didn't see the adults, I was just watching the children. And they, again, they just go with it. And the love of their tradition, their love of their music, the love of the various dance. I highly recommend, if you want to be uplifted, just please, 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 I would highly recommend that you watch Powwow. And again, it's the display of the divine feminine and the divine masculine together to create something so beautiful and powerful. It can make your heart soar and make tears come to your eyes before you even realize it. That is the power of the two coming together. And it's magic, just like the magician in the tarot. So how else can we invoke the divine feminine? How can we bring it into balance with the masculine? Well, again, first, I think just increasing your divine femininity, the divine energy in you, the going out for your walks, taking up a painting class. Start, if you can. Yoga is a great way. Take up a yoga practice, because that's a great way of getting both the divine feminine and the divine masculine put together into one. Because you're going through the series of poses, and you have to physically, but yet spiritually, come into alignment in order to hold the poses. So yoga is a fabulous way. Some other divine feminine. Um, I was going to suggest to all of the people, what came to my mind and what came to my eyes, my vision, was literally a father or a grandfather going and sitting down with his little girl and at a tea party, or going and playing out imaginary whatever story. And they are, so young girls with their tea parties and young boys with their playing out. I don't want to say, it's not scouting there. That's the word I want to say. And doing those kind of fun things. Being involved with your children. Flow into the next thing. It helps you to be creative. It helps to get your juices flowing. When they're together, it is magic. And finding some inspiration in some creative passion within you is what everyone needs to adopt right now. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I'm coming up from me, through me, that I want to share with you, because there's so many powerful energies out there that are trying to, but we don't need to embrace them. We can put aside the friction portion of it and say, okay, I acknowledge this, but this is not who I am. This is not who we are. And we can move past that as a person, as an individual, as a mind, body, spirit being. And that together is the divine masculine and divine feminine. So that's about it for this week. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Again, I'm hoping to start having more guests come on as we go. And Jess Jintanen is going to be on next week. And then I'm hopefully the week after that will be Jim Onek from Lasers, and all of the things that he is doing through Epoch Lasers is amazing. That is a man who's followed his divine feminine. He has created so many beautiful, beautiful miracles for people just with the creation of his medical laser. Oh, namaste, Lynn. Namaste, Gary. Send Gary my love, Lynn. And so he's helped so many people already reduce the pain in their lives. And so I'm highly looking forward to to having him on the show. And then next week is Jess Jintanen. And Jess has been a mentor of mine now for a couple of years. And she is just amazing. She will blow your mind. She will rock your world. She's an amazing, amazing woman. So that's the plan for the next couple of weeks. So if you are interested in any yoga of self-ascension, or if you're interested in Ascended Numerology, I would suggest, again, go see shriandkira.com. They will have all of that there. They also have many, many, many beautiful lessons in what is called the Yoga of Self-Ascension. And I've been practicing the Yoga of Self-Ascension myself for many years. And I have, 5 years, but I have been diligent, and the miracle opened up for me have been amazing. And I would highly, highly recommend, if you can, just to go over there and take a look. There are many lessons there that you can read. They're all there for you to see. Many even yoga practices, the container practice, which helps you cleanse your field, energy field, and you can send that energy to a container at Tosa Blue Mountain, where it can be then transmuted and sent out where it can do no harm. So again, I highly recommend going over there at shriandkira.com. If you're interested in learning more about me, you can also go to my website, and that is waters of self-ascension.ca or .com. So it's waters of self-ascension.ca or .com. And you can go there. You can find a little bit more about me and see what I have there to offer. And I'll be here on Thursdays, every Thursday at 11 o'clock. And I am so pleased that you were all able to come and be with us today. Keep looking out for those synchronicities out there. They're there. Those are another I like to think as a signal of being in the flow and having your balance of divine masculine and divine feminine is the synchronicities. So those number synchronicities, this number sequences 222, 333, 888. Those are the synchronicities, but also things like the synchronicities I had today with the tarot, when I couldn't even, out of 72 cards, pick you a new one. I had to tell you it was the 10 of Swords. So synchronicities are flying everywhere. It is a powerful, powerful time. And the divine masculine and the divine feminine can come together within each of us. And then from there, radiate out into our families, our communities. And just by you being in your own flow, your energy will just rub off on everybody and help when people don't even realize it. You don't even have, your place is within you. Your responsibility is you. So you are divine masculine, your divine feminine balance is what brings in your magic. And then that magic is just contagious. So until next week, everyone, have an absolutely, namaste, Gary, namaste. I'm ending a few minutes early. I do apologize, but I can't, other than sit here and ramble on to all of you beautiful, beautiful people. I don't know what else I could tell you. I could tell you another great way to get into the divine feminine. I literally just saw a note I saw here. If you want to get into the divine feminine, I have a song it just makes me dance, and I put it on, and it's by Sheffy Oren Bach, and it's called the Grandmother Song. So I highly recommend that song. And there's I'll have to look it up for next time, but there's another one I listen to when I want to invoke masculinity, and it's a Latvian song. So next time I'll remember the name of that one, and I'll bring it in for you. So until next week, my beautiful, beautiful listeners, guests, people, peeps. Oh, what a horrible word. Until next time, I am just so overjoyed that you were all here to take part in co-creating this beautiful, beautiful hour. Go out, embrace your divine feminine, light those candles, have that bubble bath, go for that walk in the woods, and be one totality in yourself. Until next week, namaste all. Mwah. Love you. Bye.